Welcome to Wrestling Boots. This is part 2 of my Smackdown review, but before I start that, on the last episode I asked a question of who was the first ever FCW champion. Now this was quite a while ago, so I hope you guys had a nice big think about it. So, any thoughts? I'm just going to break out and say it. So, the first ever FCW champion was Jake Hager. Mr. Swags. Man, it's like it was yesterday that happened. Nah, not really. It was fucking ages ago. But Jack Swagger, aka Jake Hager, he's doing pretty well for himself right now. So, yeah, that was the answer. So well done to anyone who got that. Then we cut to the announcers talking about what happened early in the night with the hit and run incident. I'm not even going to bother going through that again. So let's go to another part. There is now a match between Cesaro and I was going to say Shorty G, but it ain't Shorty G, it's Chad Gable. Now, I did miss in my other review, part 1, that there was actually an interaction between Gable and Cesaro and Nakamura. Basically, trash talking him, saying, you know, he's small, minor leagues, all that. So that culminated in a match that we have right now. Now, I don't think I need to explain to anyone here, but a Cesaro versus Chad Gable match on Smackdown, that is a treat. What a treat that is. I was ecstatic to hear that. So, honestly, good little match. Was it the best match they've ever had? I've seen better, don't get me wrong, but it was a great, solid match. Some great counters, brilliant reversals, you know, just, they just do it to perfection. Chad Gable wins with a roll-up. Your winner's Chad Gable. I mean, he got over. Well, I say he got over. He got put over in this instance, you know. He had a couple of eliminations in the Battle Royal, and he was able to beat Cesaro in the same night. How credible? I mean, Cesaro's lost a lot, but a win's a win, and it's nice to see them using Gable the correct way. Next, we're treated to a Mandy Rose and Otis segment. Now, before I start this, question to all of you. Is Otis the luckiest guy alive? Not only has he just won the Money in the Bank briefcase, so technically he has a championship shot, unless he loses it at some point, but let's just hope he gets that title shot. He's got Mandy Rose on his arm. He is now doing segments with Mandy Rose. I'd happy being locked down with her. I mean, what? Honestly, great for the guy. Great bit of talent. And, you know, it's nice to see him getting a little bit of recognition for what's going on. Now, the first thing I thought of when I saw this segment was, I really want to go on holiday. Because I'm guessing quite a lot of us have lost out on holiday opportunities this year. And I just thought, I really want to get away. So I thought that was a bit meh. They could have probably done something a bit better. But this is a storyline. This is a show. So I don't know why I'm getting too upset about that. So we move over to them. They're just chilling by the side of a pool. They're eating and drinking champagne or whatever it is. And they're making it as cheesy as possible. And I do like those kind of segments. Basically, Otis jumps in the pool. Mandy Rose is basically envisioning, like, you know, some kind of sexiness and stuff. To be honest, it was PG. But there's also an element of... They went a bit beyond, you know. They were a bit crude with everything. And it was quite cringy. Like, if I was a young kid and I was with my parents watching this Mandy Rose segment, I'd feel a bit uncomfortable, you know. But nah, great little segment. It was done for comedy, bit of cheese, and I stick to my guns. Otis is one of the luckiest guys on that whole roster. He's getting to make out with Mandy Rose all the time, so good on him. Also, we had a video package for the arrival of Matt Riddle on SmackDown. Now, do you think he's going to go over? Do you reckon he's going to be as big on the main roster as he was in NXT? I don't know right now. It's very early. I think they could have done a better job with his video package. I think, like, I'm guessing it's still very, very split. There are a lot of people that watch Raw and SmackDown that don't watch NXT. So I think they kind of needed to bring him over and let him be himself and kind of get over on his own terms, as opposed to kind of forcing him down people's throats. But I don't think he's going to have any problems really on the main roster for what I know. I could see him going for like an IC title, stuff like that, but I feel he could have done a little bit more in NXT. I think it is a bit too early. What do you guys think? Honestly, this is a really, really tricky one. We then cut to a Sheamus promo talking about his match later on with Daniel Bryan, doing a bit of trash talking. And while he was doing this, I was thinking about how many matches these two have had in the past. Now, I've been to one WrestleMania in my life, and that was WrestleMania 27. Not the best WrestleMania, in fact, probably one of the worst WrestleManias. And one of the things that I remember most is one of the first matches on there, pre-show mind, was Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus. That didn't even make the main card. Like, it actually turned into a battle royal halfway through that match. And then the next year, they opened up WrestleMania with, I think it was a heavyweight title match. It was Bryan versus Sheamus, and pretty sure Sheamus won in like record time or something like that. But this is like 8 years later, and they're still having the same matches, but for the belt underneath them. And I'm not slagging off the Intercontinental Championship. That is a great belt. That is actually my favourite title, but it just shows, like, 8 years later and we're still having the same feuds. The next part of this show is The Miz with John Morrison going on with their feud with Braun Strowman. This is one of the down parts of SmackDown at the moment. They're challenging Braun Strowman to a handicap match for the title. What is going on? Why is this a thing? There should be no handicap matches. I'm not even a fan of handicap matches. But for a title, a singles title, it's wrong. I'm not even the other way. A handicap match for tag titles doesn't work in my opinion. This is a no-no. I have no idea why this is even a thing. And who does it favour? What are you going to get out of this? Honestly. Okay, Braun Strowman will go over, and it's going to make The Miz and Morrison look weak. Or you can go the other way and have Morrison and The Miz win to make Braun look weak. It's a no-win. I don't understand it. This is a waste of time of a feud. So we have our main event of the evening, Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus, to move on to the next stage of the Intercontinental Championship tournament. As you would expect, they had a great match. A very, very hard-hitting match. There was a point in the match where Sheamus went over to Michael Cole on commentary when he had Bryan to say, your boy needs help. Kind of like, do the yes thing. But it's like, for any wrestling fan who has been watching for quite a while, we know that Daniel Bryan and Michael Cole never got along. So it was kind of like, okay, why didn't he choose to do that with Corey Graves as opposed to Michael Cole? I thought that was very, very stupid. Jeff Hardy ended up coming out, so he escaped from his cell. And yeah, it spooked out Sheamus, and Daniel Bryan got the win from a distraction. There's been too many distractions on this show tonight. And roll-ups, believe it or not, but that is a thing WWE love to do. Solid match. The right guy went over. So we're going to find out next week with the AJ Styles match. I thought that was actually tonight, so I got that wrong. So it's in 2 weeks' time, AJ Styles. But yeah, overall, SmackDown, I'd give it a 7. It was alright. It had some okay wrestling. It's just some of the storylines are a bit questionable. I don't like the handicap match for the title. I think that's stupid. But yeah, it's okay, I know it's quite tough at the moment with everything that's going on. They're limited with their resources and obviously their wrestling talent as well. It was okay. It was fine. And that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. This is my first podcast in a very, very long time, so I am a bit rusty. I did glaze over a lot of it, but I didn't want to make it too long. Thanks again. There will be more stuff coming up in the next few days. Keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, I'm Dave from Wrestling Boots. I'm out. Take care.